There is apparently a secret men's-only right-wing society that has one goal for America: to turn it into the Christian nation they think it should have always been. It's effectively regime change. It's a change of form of government, and there's a variety of different ways that they're working on it, but one is national divorce, which I think is ironic because all of these men think that there shouldn't be a right to divorce because they know that their women in their life are likely to try to flee at some point.
Yes.
But anyway, they're moving forward. This is the Society for American Civic Renewal. Apparently, members of the group call it the Sackers. Think about that and all the implications of it. But anyway, it is open to new recruits. So if you're looking for a social group, but there are some requirements. You have to be male. You have to be a trinitarian Christian, heterosexual, an un-hyphenated American, and can answer questions about Trump, the GOP, and Christian nationalism in the right way. One chapter leader wrote to a prospective member that the group aimed to secure a future for Christian families. So, like if you're asked about, should America be a Christian nation? You have to say yes. Does Donald Trump have six-pack abs? You have to say yes, obviously. And you have to be unhyphenated, because the hyphenated Americans have too many things other than American that they stress rather than just American. Not these guys, except that they stress their white nation of origin, the fact that they're Christians, the particular sect of Christianity that they're a part of, but they're not into identity politics or anything. They just have a long line of identities that you have to match up for, or you literally can't join their group. There's a lot of irony in this whole thing.
Before we continue with the story, we depend on members to keep on going. Don't wait, click join now on YouTube.
Anyway, Talking Points Memo has done a great report on this. You should definitely look at that. But they talk about how the members of this group are pretty influential. You've got the president of the Claremont Institute, Harvard law grads, leading businessmen and communities scattered across America. They're wealthy. Independent wealth is actually a requirement for membership. So also, you conservative pores, don't even think about it. Never forget for a second that they hate you. Anyway, members must be able to either contribute, influence, capability, or wealth. And again, in addition to the conservative pores thing, I want to remind you, the Republican Party is anti-elite. They just have a group of secretive elites that are all wealthy and influential that want to remake America in their own image. So anyway, we have more, Francesca, but what do you make of this?
I mean, that's the most egregious lie of all, right? The idea, I mean, and I think John Oliver did that segment about the Supreme Court talking about Clarence Thomas, like, oh, the elites win. Bro, you are bought by elites. You go on elite vacations with your elites all the time. But it's not enough to already be like a white, cis, hetero, wealthy, Harvard educated, graduate. Like, it's not enough to have all of these things going for you. Fragility is such that they must create another separate secret society to make sure that they're treated extra special. Honey, you're already treated extra special. Oh. You have everything you've ever wanted. You won the lotto of life. But they're like, no, but it's not explicitly racist enough. And lastly, non-hyphenated Americans is the most creative way I've heard white people be racist in a very long time. Like, you gotta hand it to them. They keep on coming up with ways to say not white.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's often made, there's a big deal made of the fact that these are not creative people on the right. They're not good at comedy. They can't write movies that people actually want to see. But in their racism, they are sometimes quite creative. I do agree with you there. Yeah, no, the entire thing it's like, it would be a joke if it wasn't deeply concerning. The idea that like, we want a Republican Party in a US government that's Christian or whatever, like, that's what your entire party has been pushing for like the better part of a half century at the very least. I love when like their big thing is the thing. You guys killed Roe v. Wade. What exactly are you not getting out of government that you want so badly? Polygamy. And we know what it is. It's literally just the presence of black and brown people. The fact that women can be senators or whatever. Like, Katie Britt better appreciate that position while she can. Because in a perfect world, according to these people, she wouldn't even be there. By the way, women can't join this group. Like, just to be clear.
I was going to ask, that was my next.
Yeah, no, of course. But also you have to be strictly heterosexual, okay? We don't want anything weird in our all male group that we meet up, and we never want any women to be there because women drool and men rule. Never forget it. The whole thing is super weird. You can't be Mormon. You can't be a Jehovah's Witness. You can't be Christian Scientist because even like they are so horny for hierarchy and excluding people, that even being Christian isn't enough for these people. They have to come up with like new, smaller versions of Christianity that they think are cool. Anyway, the whole thing is just utterly ridiculous. But again, these are people who have money, that have influence. They're already supporting candidates. It's not like they haven't gotten a bunch of people into positions of authority that agree with this. They're literally filling up the Supreme Court with them right now. So it's like on its face, it's a joke, and this appears to be like a massively wealthy group of angry incels. Like they're messaging each other from a really immaculately decorated basement. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. But
I mean, it's terrifying. It's terrifying because these are the folks, I mean, it's a joke until you realize the power and grip they have on American politics and our courts. And again, this is not a far cry from the Federalist Society. And it's not a far cry from Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation. It is all in the same gross little soup. And they're trying to reverse the decline of American society. They basically mean rolling back like the Civil Rights Act and the right to vote for women, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's just like, again, at what point are you gonna grow an inch down there, bro? It's not gonna happen. You could do everything. You could put the crystal back the way Indiana Jones did, and the curse of you having a T little d is not gonna be reversed.
Was that a reference to the crystal skull?
I don't know.
It doesn't often get referenced, so I like you spreading spreading it out there. Yeah, I will never understand. I will try. If you will have me, America, I'll continue doing something like this for the next couple decades. And when I finally stop, I will still never understand how this party that screams as loud as they can, we only care about white, straight, rich males, has any supporters who are not white, straight, rich males. I will never understand it. Why are you supporting these people who utterly despise you? Look, I might mock you from time to time. Granted, that's annoying, but I want you to have a better life. They don't care what happens to you. They really don't.